Good morning. Sunset's here, coming to you from Devil's Backbone Brewery. Uh, we're going to talk about week 11 on Chica and Mai's through hike of the Appalachian Trail. That covers May 31st through June 6th. We're actually here on June 9th or 10th, so it's a little bit later, but we have to wait for a shuttle, a 10 o'clock shuttle, to get us back to the trail. So I have a little bit of time to videotape. One cool thing about Devil's Backbone, there's so many cool things about this place. They're very hiker friendly. It's a place where stinky people and clean people coexist quite happily together. When we walked into the brew pub last night, it was after a 19.5 mile day. We stunk. And this is a nice place. And people are coming up to us and saying, "Oh, you guys are through hiking. That's so cool. Well, welcome to the place." I mean, these are patrons. A little different than like the vibe we got at the NOC, where you had some kind of a pretty nice restaurant, and you had people there that were kind of looking you up and down and going, "What the hell are you doing here?" This place is very welcoming to hikers. But in the morning, they have a $5 hiker breakfast, and in the place called the Summit, which is the restaurant for the breakfast, you can pick, if you're a thru hiker, you can pick out a piece of swag. So I got a Devil's Backbone Brewing Company baseball cap, and that just came with the $5 breakfast. So pretty cool. So anyway, let's talk about what type of mileage we did last week. So for the 7 days, May 31st through June 6th, we started at the Pig Farm Camp, which was mile 712.6. And we ended up at Brown Mountain Creek Shelter, which was mile 804.9. That gave us 92.3 miles for the week. And for that time period, we spent $557, which, wow, that's a lot. However, the way the days worked out, we took a zero, and we also had a Nero, so we had 3 accommodation costs, which kind of drove it up. And one of the places we stayed, which was Glasgow, the resupply at that store was about double what we would spend at a Walmart or a dollar store or something like that. It was very expensive. $2 Knorr rice sides, $2.50 Cliff bars. I mean, everything was just marked up like crazy because they know hikers are going through there, and that's the only place to shop. There was a dollar store that we didn't make it to that we should have. So anyway, let's break this down. Accommodation costs. We stayed 3 different places, and that totaled $189. Town food, we spent $207 there, and town food is our weakness. We get into town and we want a beer and we want a nice dinner, and we can kind of go crazy. Resupply, we spent $161 on resupply. We didn't have any gear costs. We didn't have any additional costs. So $557, and so that breaks down this way. 557 dollars divided by 92.3 miles gives us a cost breakdown of $6.03 per mile, or $3 per mile per person. A little bit higher than the $250 or something we're shooting for. For the trip, we've spent so far $4,133 and traveled 804.9 miles, giving us a grand total of 513. Excuse me, sorry. I just ate breakfast and I'm a little cloggy. Or 257 per person per mile. So we're right in that sweet spot. We're bringing the total cost down a little bit, which is great. We had 2 major milestones this week. The first is the 800 mile mark, and like I said, we're almost doing 100 miles a week. So we're hitting that milestone, that 100-mile mark every single week, just about, and that's kind of a cool thing to see. Well, also we hit the third way mark, and that was cool. Very invigorating to sorry about that. See that we're a third of the way through, and we only have 2/3 to go. So one of the things that happened in week 11 was my glasses broke. You can see they're held together with duct tape, and I really can't see without my glasses. And I've never been a person who liked contacts, so I'm a glasses type guy. You'd think I'd know how to put them on by now. The next place we're stopping, which is Waynesboro, I'm having Jen's mom send a spare pair that I have. These things are big and clunky, so you'll get a kick out of them when you see me wearing them. But these are actually very cheap. I get them from Zenni Optical, which is an online company. Because my prescription is pretty easy, I can get glasses for about $20. So it's not that big of a deal that they got broke, and I had a spare pair at home. So one of the bad things about wearing glasses on the trail is they get dirty, and they stay dirty. They fog up. You're constantly having to clean them. So it is kind of a hassle wearing glasses, but I would prefer to contacts and shoving things in my eye. Okay, so coming up, we're very close to the halfway mark, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to present information for the halfway mark, because I want to do a big video about our mileage, our budget, but also I want to talk about how the gear is working out. Halfway mark is a great mile marker to let you know how our gear is wearing, and whether it's working well for us or not. So we're going to cover all that. Plus we'll go over a lot of different stats. Maybe even put up a graph or two about how our mileage has improved throughout the trip, and kind of how our spending has worked as well. So, playing the game that one of our viewers wanted to play, Roses, Thorns, and Buds. What were the great things this week? Great things this week was the weather. It was just absolutely gorgeous. Sunshiny most days, but still cool. We had a little bit of rain going into Glasgow, but otherwise the weather was perfect. Thorns. Virginia terrain is very challenging. It's very rocky, and you see a downhill on your profile of the map, and you're like, yes, here we go downhill, and it's just a challenge because you're constantly having to rock pick and watch your step, because those are ankle breakers. Buds, what are we looking forward to? What's coming up? Obviously, we were looking forward to Devil's Backbone Brewery. We'll talk about that more next week. And also the Shenandoahs are coming up, and we're looking forward to not only going through that national park, but also the frequent wayside restaurants where you can get a burger and a shake daily. Yeah. Chica says, heck yeah. So we'll be packing less food and eating out. So cost be damned. We're gonna enjoy ourselves in the Shenandoahs. Okay, so a viewer asks, what advice would we give ourselves, knowing what we know now, way back in Georgia? What would we tell ourselves about the trip, and what advice would we give? I think the biggest thing we would talk about, we would tell us, just relax. You will learn how to hang a bear bag. You will get your mileage in. It will increase. You'll figure out every little aspect of trail life, and don't worry about it. Just let it go. We fretted about things, and we didn't have to. Everybody, just about everybody, is starting with very little experience in the beginning, and everybody learns, and it's probably one of the main things. Number two, I would tell myself stealth camp. Stealth camp from the very beginning. Don't stay in the shelters, and don't worry about camping with everybody else. We learned that a little bit later on, and we really enjoy not being in a camp with 20 or 30 other people. So anyway, that's that. That's week 11 recap. Hope you enjoy it, and we will see you in a couple more days, and we'll do week 12. Bye.